Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The person or thing chosen or selected. The act of choosing or selecting. Your choice of colors was unfortunate. One of a number of things from which only one can be chosen. My only choice is to refuse. Of superior grade. Choice wines. Appealing to refined taste. Choice wine. The quantity of a crop that is harvested. He sent the first picking of berries to the market. The person or thing chosen or selected. He was my pick for mayor. A heavy iron tool with a wooden handle and a curved head that is pointed on both ends. They used picks and sledges to break the rocks. Pull lightly but sharply with a plucking motion. Pay for something. Pick up the tab. Look for and gather. Pick mushrooms. The act of choosing or selecting. You can take your pick. The best people or things in a group. Harass with constant criticism. Don't always pick on your little brother. Eat intermittently. Take small bites of. Remove unwanted substances from, such as feathers or pits. A small thin device, of metal or plastic or ivory, used to pluck a stringed instrument. The yarn woven across the warp yarn in weaving. Attack with or as if with a pickaxe of ice or rocky ground, for example. Hit lightly with a picking motion. A basketball maneuver. Obstructing an opponent with one's body. He was called for setting an illegal pick. A thin, sharp implement used for removing unwanted material. He used a pick to clean the dirt out of the cracks. Pilfer or rob. Pickpockets. Provoke. Pick a fight or a quarrel. Remove in small bits. Pick meat from a bone. Select carefully from a group. She finally picked her successor. The person or thing chosen or selected. A natural process resulting in the evolution of organisms best adapted to the environment. A passage selected from a larger work. The act of choosing or selecting. An assortment of things from which a choice can be made. The store carried a large selection of shoes. The act of choosing or selecting. One of a number of things from which only one can be chosen. What option did I have? The right to buy or sell property at an agreed price. The right is purchased, and if it is not exercised by a stated date, the money is forfeited. Serving or used in place of another. An alternative plan. One of a number of things from which only one can be chosen. There is no other alternative. Necessitating a choice between mutually exclusive possibilities. Alternative possibilities were neutrality or war. Pertaining to unconventional choices. An alternative lifestyle. Being at the best stage of development. Our manhood's prime vigor. The time of maturity when power and vigor are greatest. Cover with a primer. Apply a primer to. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. A natural number that has exactly two distinct natural number divisors, one in itself. First in rank or degree. The Prime Minister. Of superior grade. Prime beef. Fill with priming liquid. Prime a car engine. Insert a primer into a gun, mine, or charge, preparatory to detonation or firing. Prime a cannon. Of or relating to or being an integer that cannot be factored into other integers. Prime number. The second canonical hour, about 6 a.m. Used of the first or originating agent. Prime mover. Goods or money obtained illegally. To move or force, especially in an effort to get something open. Regard highly. Think much of. We prize his creativity. Something given for victory or superiority in a contest or competition or for winning a lottery. The prize was a free trip to Europe. Something given as a token of victory. Hold dear. I prize these old photographs. Of superior grade. Prize carnations. Music. The distinctive property of a complex sound, a voice or noise or musical sound. A degree or grade of excellence or worth. The quality of students has risen. A characteristic property that defines the apparent individual nature of something. Each town has a quality all its own. Of superior grade. Quality paper. An essential and distinguishing attribute of something or someone. The quality of mercy is not strained. High social status. A man of quality. Of high social status. People of quality. Pick out, select, or choose from a number of alternatives. She selected a pair of shoes from among the dozen the salesgirl had shown her. Selected or chosen for special qualifications. Of superior grade. Select peaches. Having a higher rank. Superior officer. A combatant who is able to defeat rivals. A character or symbol set or printed or written above and immediately to one side of another character. Written or printed above and to one side of another character. One of greater rank or station or quality. The largest freshwater lake in the world, the deepest of the Great Lakes. A town in northwest Wisconsin on Lake Superior across from Duluth. Having an orbit farther from the Sun than the Earth's orbit. Mars and Jupiter are the closest in of the superior planets. Of high or superior quality or performance. Superior wisdom derived from experience. Of or characteristic of high rank or importance. A superior ruler. Often followed by to, above being affected or influenced by. He is superior to fear. Sometimes followed by to, not subject to or influenced by. Overcome by a superior opponent. The head of a religious community. Pleasing to the sense of taste. A tasty morsel. The cognitive process of reaching a decision. A good executive must be good at decision-making. The cognitive process of reaching a decision. having the power or quality of deciding. Cast the deciding vote. A military engagement. He saw action in Korea. A judicial proceeding brought by one party against another. One party prosecutes another for a wrong done or for protection of a right or for prevention of a wrong. The operating part that transmits power to a mechanism. The piano had a very stiff action. Institute legal proceedings against. File a suit against. She actioned the company for discrimination. Put in effect. He actioned the operation. The state of being active. He is out of action. A process existing in or produced by nature, rather than by the intent of human beings. The action of natural forces. An act by a government body or supranational organization. Recent federal action undermined the segregationist position. Something done, usually as opposed to something said. There were stories of murders and other unnatural actions. The most important or interesting work or activity in a specific area or field. The action is no longer in technology stocks but in municipal bonds. The series of events that form a plot. His novels always have a lot of action. The trait of being active and energetic and forceful. A man of action. Preferred above all others and treated with partiality. A competitor thought likely to win. Something regarded with special favor or liking. A special loved one. Appealing to the general public. A fundamental feeling that is hard to define but that people desire to experience. He was tingling with pleasure. Something or someone that provides a source of happiness. The pleasure of his company. A formal expression. He serves at the pleasure of the president. An activity that affords enjoyment. He puts duty before pleasure. Sexual gratification. He took his pleasure of her. Space for movement. Make way for. A course of conduct. We went our separate ways. Thing or person that acts to produce a particular effect or achieve an end. The true way to success. A line leading to a place or point. Didn't know the way home. To a great degree or by a great distance. Very much, right smart, is regional in the United States. Way over budget. How something is done or how it happens. A lonely way of life. A general category of things, used in the expression, in the way of. They didn't have much in the way of clothing. A journey or passage. They are on the way. Any artifact consisting of a road or path affording passage from one place to another. He said he was looking for the way out. A portion of something divided into shares. They split the loot 3 ways. Doing as one pleases or chooses. If I had my way. The condition of things generally. That's the way it is. The property of distance in general. It's a long way to Moscow. Preferred above all others and treated with partiality. A competitor thought likely to win. Something regarded with special favor or liking. That book is one of my favorites. A special loved one. Appealing to the general public. A favorite tourist attraction. A choice that is made by counting the number of people in favor of each alternative. A document listing the alternatives that is used in voting. Vote by ballot. The voters were balloting in this state. The act of throwing a fishing line out over the water by means of a rod and reel. The act of creating something by casting it in a mold. Object formed by a mold. The choice of actors to play particular roles in a play or movie. The capability of conscious choice and decision and intention. The exercise of their volition we construe as revolt. The act of making a choice. Followed my father of my own volition. A legal right guaranteed by the 15th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, guaranteed to women by the 19th Amendment. American women got the vote in 1920. A choice that is made by counting the number of people in favor of each alternative. There were only 17 votes in favor of the motion. The total number of voters who participated. They are expecting a large vote. A body of voters who have the same interests. He failed to get the black vote. Bring into existence or make available by vote. They voted aid for the underdeveloped countries in Asia. Express a choice or opinion. I vote that we all go home. Express one's choice or preference by vote. Vote the Democratic ticket. Express one's preference for a candidate or for a measure or resolution. Cast a vote. He voted for the motion. The opinion of a group is determined by voting. They put the question to a vote. A choice that is made by counting the number of people in favor of each alternative. Not brought about by coercion or force. The act of making a choice. Disposed or inclined toward. A willing participant. A choice that is made by counting the number of people in favor of each alternative. A vote to select the winner of a position or political office. The results of the election will be announced tonight. The act of selecting someone or something, the exercise of deliberate choice. Her election of medicine as a profession. The predestination of some individuals as objects of divine mercy, especially as conceived by Calvinists. The status or fact of being elected. They celebrated his election. The act of making up your mind about something. A position or opinion or judgment reached after consideration. Satisfied with the panel's determination. The quality of being determined to do or achieve something, firmness of purpose. His determination showed in his every movement. The act of determining the properties of something, usually by research or calculation. The determination of molecular structures. Deciding or controlling something's outcome or nature. The determination of grammatical inflections. The act of making up your mind about something. The burden of decision was his. A position or opinion or judgment reached after consideration. A decision unfavorable to the opposition. The trait of resoluteness is evidenced by firmness of character or purpose. Boxing. A victory won on points when no knockout has occurred. had little trouble in taking a unanimous decision over his opponent. The outcome of a game or contest. The team dropped 3 decisions in a row. Event whose occurrence ends something. The proposition arrived at by logical reasoning, such as the proposition that must follow from the major and minor premises of a syllogism. The act of making up your mind about something. He drew his conclusions quickly. A position or opinion or judgment reached after consideration. His conclusion took the evidence into account. The act of ending something. The last section of a communication. In conclusion, I want to say. The temporal end, the concluding time. A final settlement. The conclusion of a business deal. An intuitive assumption. Jump to a conclusion. The timbre of a musical sound. Appearance with regard to color. Choice and use of colors, as by an artist. The timbre of a musical sound. Appearance with regard to color. Her healthy coloration. Choice and use of colors, as by an artist.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.